Well, thanks for joining us on another edition of Bowlfast Talk Straight. Today, what a game we've got in store for us today. We've got South Africa against Sri Lanka, England against Australia, and a matter of Newcastle United against Chelsea, St James's Park. Huge day for me in my life for what's going to happen. I'm going to enjoy all of today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Well, we had a good day of T20 cricket yesterday. I really enjoyed watching Pakistan again. Look, a very, very good side. They took it all the way down to the wire. Afghanistan did brilliantly. I thought it was a really, really good game of T20 cricket on not a bad pitch, to be fair. Babar Azam showed again why he's rated as one of the best T20 batsmen in the world. Pakistan just got over the line at the end. The West Indies eventually came to the party with a good win against Bangladesh. But today, the old enemy go head to head. I don't think there's any bragging rights when it comes to the Ashes. I think when you look at the England squad, the England squad is in the England team. There's probably only 3 players that are going to start or in and around the starting 11 for the Ashes. Australia have probably got about 6 in this T20 side that they've got going probably into the Ashes. So there's more on the Australia side than their England side, but I don't think there's any bragging rights from that point of view. I think Owen Morgan was right. I think there's a big difference between the Red Bull team and the White Bull team when it comes to personnel and numbers. I think both teams will be pretty much straightforward. I don't think there'll be any changes. They've gone 2 from 2, both teams. Both teams look as though they're in decent order. Players are in form at the top of the order. Great to see Jason Roy, the way he batted in the last game. Answer a few critics, to be fair. I think there's a few people would have looked at Jason Roy and said, this is where he might struggle on these surfaces against the slow bowlers. But I thought he batted magnificent on, I think, on Thursday night. So when you look at that, that's a huge plus point for England, but a massive plus point as well for Australia was David Warner, the form of David Warner, not scoring a great deal of runs in the IPL for Sunrisers, being left out by Sunrisers, leaving Sunrisers, which is going to be a huge wrench for him and a huge surprise. But class is permanent, and I always believed that David Warner would come good. He has been a fantastic player, and there is still a good player in there. So ominous signs for good signs for Australia when your top of the order is firing. And this is a good Australia side. I believed at the start that I thought Australia would get to the semi-final, finishing just behind England, and I thought they'll get better and better as the tournament goes on because they haven't played a lot of competitive cricket, these Aussies. And when you look at it, there's a nice, well-balanced side to their group. But it's a huge test for them today against England, a team that look as though they're the best team in the tournament, as performing at this moment in time. And I still make England favourites. I think when you look at the Australia side, question marks are, do they need to strengthen their bowling? I would say no. I think Stoinis has bowled in this tournament. He bowled 3 overs in the last game. And I think it's needs must when Stoinis has to bowl. He didn't bowl in the first game, but I think his batting is so important that if there is any pressure on his body because of his bowling, then you want to alleviate that as much as you possibly can. I think both sides will pick the same 11, and I think they'll both go in very, very strong and a lot of confidence after what's just happened in the tournament. Can England get Mark Wood into the team? Because I think he probably needs to have a game, because I think they might need him in there later down the line, possibly semi-final and final. But I think Tamil Mills has not only deserved his chance to stay in the side, as long as his body is up to it, I think he's a very, very good weapon for Owen Morgan to have, that left arm at a pace, very, very good slower ball, and very, very good at the death. The conundrum for me will be at the start for Owen Morgan. Does he continue with Moeen Ali? Moeen Ali's bowled beautifully in the power play so far. Left-hander in David Warner, but Warner and Finch, he had big strikers of the ball. I think that could be a very, very good contest, and a contest early in the game to see where the game goes. Because if Warner and Finch get off to a good start, first 2-3 overs, and all of a sudden the pressure will be on England. Again, it'll be down to the toss, wins the toss and probably bats first. But it'll be interesting to see how Owen Morgan goes, whether he goes with Moeen Ali, who's been going well, or he goes back to somebody like Chris Wokes. And we've seen over time after time with David Warner that the swinging, moving ball in the first 2 overs has swung with this white ball can get Warner into a little bit of trouble. I think Stuart Broad has done that from around the wicket in test matches. And that might be something that Owen Morgan thinks about very, very early on. But I just can't wait. I think it's going to be a fantastic game of cricket. Two old enemies going head to head. I think there's a very, very good. I think there's a lot of respect between both sides. I think there's a lot of friendship on both sides because of the IPL and the T20 Blast players crossing over. And fingers crossed for a good contest. We'll be back later in the show, later in the day to find out who wins. But my prediction would be, I think England so far in this tournament has looked head and shoulders above anybody else. And I'm probably including Pakistan in that. And I don't see that changing. I can see England winning this game, not by as big a margin as they have done so far. I think it'll be a very, very good close game, but winning possibly an over or 10 balls to spare. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, leave a review, and we'll be back later on to you this evening.